we always hear it was the death of Emmett Till that really sparked everything with civil rights. So I'm like, and it was, but the part that's left out, and that was intentionally left out, is that it was also Billie Holiday singing Strange Fruit, singing about racial terror in America in defiance of the government that reinvigorated Thurgood Marshall and the movement.
Part of this is not just pushing a conversation forward and getting people to, see how this story applies in the current time, but also I think trying to go back and give a more well-rounded understanding of who Billie was outside of what we were told.
I say the godmother of civil rights because, if you can imagine her singing this song and the entire American government coming down on her, hunting her for singing this song, and there's no movement to support her. She's shouldering this all on her own. You know what I mean? The only thing she has is Lester Young and the motley crew of family that she's chosen and put together. So we owe her a huge, huge debt of gratitude. She is responsible for the movement as we know it today.
My song, Strange Fruit, it reminds them that they're killing us.
I hope that we see Billie not just outside of her accomplishments, but for who she was as a person, is flawed, nuanced, as someone who cared very deeply for what she was doing.
There was something about her that needed in your movie. What was it?
Her spirit, her knowing that she had to honor Billie, and even questioning whether or not she could do Billie. And that to me is hard. I mean, look, it could have gone wrong. It could have gone completely wrong.
When I had the opportunity to sit with Lee that first time, one of the first things he told me was, you need, when you get home, you need to watch her rendition of Strange Fruit. You watch that performance. She inhabited Billie's spirit while she was singing that song. And so when I had the opportunity to see that, I was more than a fan. I fell in love with the opportunity to express the story with her.
One day, I'm gonna quit the drinking and get off that stuff too.
It took everything, and it took everything in a way that I'm still grateful for, that I feel like might be concerning for people, but it's not. When you're doing something and you're supposed to be there, because I was initially like, no, I don't want to do this, I'm terrified. But I had, trust in this man, and I trusted that God was bringing me there for a reason. And so, yeah, it was taxing, smoking cigarettes. My body was like, what the hell is this? Like drinking alcohol, I don't do that. So just like chugging gin and bourbon and whatever. And it'd be so many moments too. I'd be like at a bar and they'd be like, what are you drinking? Like gin. They're like, do you like it? Da, 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 da. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm just drinking gin for this thing. So just give me anything. But yeah, so it was, and not sleeping for days and days on end. And it was definitely trying, but all of that, it's so crazy because what you would think would be like, oh my God, it's so hard, but it all actually lended to the character. Because I mean, imagine how exhausted would Billie have been running from the government every day? How exhausted would she have been being shot at, leaving a club, you know what I mean? Not sleeping, going on a bender with a man who's beating her, or men who are taking advantage, taking her money, never knowing where she's gonna work. That's exhausting, you know what I'm saying? So I think I had it easy compared to Billie herself. And that's why I'm like, we're good.